Hi, everyone. My name is Poppy, and I look exactly like Billie Eilish. Many people may think that this is cool, but trust me, my appearance, which is similar to her, resulted in a very dangerous adventure. Those who see me every day are already used to the fact that I look like Billie, but strangers are always confusing me with her. It used to be quite usual for me to give someone an autograph or take a selfie with them. However, at first I tried to prove to everyone that I was not a celebrity, so that they would finally leave me alone. But then I came to terms with this because it was easier just to pretend that I was her than to explain something to others. People just didn't believe me and really thought that I was Billie. And while many would really like such special attention, I am not excited with it at all. Every day, someone stops me to talk or take a photo. At such moments, I understand how hard it is to live for the celebrities who are being literally followed all the time. But in fact, once my appearance even stood me in a good stead. After classes, I went to a pizzeria. Just in case, I put a hood on my head, just so that no one would bother me while I was eating. However, after I ordered a large pizza and a few milkshakes, I realized that I had forgotten my wallet with money at home. I didn't know what to do and even got a bit anxious. At that moment, I came up with the idea to take advantage of my similarity with a celebrity. When I took off the hood, I didn't even have to call the waitress to where I was sitting. She immediately came up to me herself and asked for an autograph. I gladly signed her work notebook and also gave autographs to other fans who were sitting at the tables next to me. The administrator also rushed to us after hearing the noise. When he saw me, a broad smile appeared on his face, and he asked me to sign a photo for his daughter. When I explained my situation to him, he said that for such important guests as me, the whole menu here is on the house. I was more than satisfied by such a scheme. After the case in the pizzeria, I decided not to stop, because if I looked like Billie so much, then why not take advantage of some of the benefits? For example, in one clothing store, I was given a huge discount on the entire store. Also, I could visit a small cinema, which was located next to my house, absolutely free. At that moment, such trivial things as autographs and photos with fans, which used to annoy me earlier, no longer bothered me because I received many benefits from my appearance. However, I faced other problems soon enough. As it turned out, Billie had a lot of crazy fans who literally followed me around everywhere. One of them even managed to somehow cut off a whole strand of my hair, and the other one was secretly waiting for me in the park wearing the costume of a tree, and then attacked me, telling me how much he loved my songs. I even had to call the police to make him stop bothering me. However, the attacks of fans were actually harmless compared to the acts of those who hated the singer. Once, someone threw tomatoes at me when I was leaving the store in new clothes. In another case, a guy pretended to be my fan, and when I came up to him to take a photo, he pepper sprayed me in the face. After that incident, I stayed at home for several days and did not want to go anywhere. And once, I was almost caught lying. The thing is that on that evening, one of Billie's fans was working at the box office at the cinema. I went there, as usual, to watch a movie for free. The fan was really surprised that I showed up there and asked how I could be at that place, because in the morning, she had read on my page that I was in a totally different city. So I had to come up with a stupid story that it was fake. And in fact, I needed to hide for a while. Fortunately, the girl believed me, but since that moment, I've been more careful. However, the thing that happened to me a week later was beyond common sense. As usual, I had a free lunch at the pizzeria, but when I got out of it, some people caught me around the corner and immediately put me in a car. I didn't even have enough time to realize what had happened. Just a few minutes later, I was blindfolded. Also, a gag was put in my mouth, and my arms as well as my legs were tied. I didn't know what was going on and where I was being taken, but I was really scared. I was brought to an old house and put in a chair. In front of me, there stood two men looking very formidable. They were extremely happy about the fact that they had caught Billie Eilish herself. When they took the gag out of my mouth, I started explaining to them that, in fact, I was not Billie, but just looked like her. My words made the kidnappers laugh out loud. They told me that they had been following me for several days and saw me introduce myself as a celebrity everywhere, giving autographs and chatting with fans. I had to explain the whole situation to them in detail. But of course, they didn't believe me anyway. The criminals wanted to get a huge ransom for me. I tried to convince them that nothing would work out because they grabbed an ordinary girl who looked like a celebrity. But I didn't achieve what I wanted. On the same day, they put the camera right in front of me to record a video that they were going to send to Billy's studio. The kidnappers even managed to find out its address. They said that they were demanding $2 million for letting me free, and until they received this money, I was supposed to stay there. At this time, I was thinking about whether I would be saved. After all, I'm not Billie Eilish, and apart from my parents, no one would probably notice that I was missing. The tape that they wanted to send would be useless in any case. The studio would just most likely laugh at them. After the recording was made, the kidnappers uploaded everything to a USB flash drive and sent it to the studio's address. They were already dreaming about how they would soon sunbathe near the ocean on some islands. I was really scared. I knew that the criminals would never lay a finger on me because hurting me would not bring them any benefits. But it was really terrifying for me to realize that I was in some unknown place, tied to a chair, and surrounded by some weird people. I regretted having pretended to be someone that I was not. It would have been better if I had continued to avoid everyone and give autographs from time to time instead of fearing for my life now. No one knows what to expect from these kidnappers when they realize that I'm not Billy. So now, it's been 2 days since they sent the flash drive. The criminals were very angry that they did not receive any response from the studio. Then they decided to make a new recording, but this time with threats. To be honest, this did not help either, because the blackmailers did not manage to get at least some answer. Then one of them began to lose his temper. He was constantly saying that they screwed up and they won't gain anything. But the second one continued to remain calm and tried to bring his friend to his senses. But he failed to do this. When this psycho took out a pistol, I immediately got anxious because he was out of his mind and was waving a loaded weapon all over the place. I was afraid that he would shoot me, and then I would definitely be done. I couldn't hold it and started crying. The kidnapper told me to shut up and threatened me with a pistol. But fortunately, at that moment, the door opened with a banging sound and the police broke into the house. They immediately caught the criminals and untied me. I got hysterical because I was very scared and could not calm down. I tried to testify, but because of sobbing, I couldn't put the words together. I was immediately sent to the hospital, and my parents were informed about this right at that moment. When I was lying in the ward under the influence of sedatives, my parents came and hugged me. Mom was crying and constantly saying that she was really worried about me. Dad could hardly hold back tears as well. It turned out that my parents went to the police on the very evening when I was abducted because I did not return home for a long time. The police said they would find me, but the case didn't have any progress until people from Billy's studio contacted them because they also asked for help. After seeing the recording, they did not stand aside and did not wait. Even more panic was created when the criminals sent the second part, which they had made not very carefully. The kidnappers did not notice that on that recording, there was an open window in which a street sign with the number of the neighboring house and the road name was clearly visible. The police managed to orient themselves and find me. Mom said that the hunt for these criminals had lasted for a long time because they had managed to rob several small shops in the neighboring towns even before they kidnapped me. When I was discharged from the hospital, together with my parents, I went to the police station where the agents of Billie Eilish were sitting. I told them about everything that had happened to me as best I could, because it was very unpleasant and scary for me to recall all of it. People who represented Billie said that she was very sorry for what had occurred. They also added that the singer wanted to support me, so she was giving me 2 VIP tickets for her concert. After that incident, I never pretended to be Billie again. And I also changed my image so that I no longer looked like a celebrity. However, it didn't really help me, because sometimes people still confuse me with her. This story totally turned my life around. I can no longer feel completely safe because all the time it seems that someone wants to kidnap me again. Would you like to look like some celebrity? Give your answers in the comments. Click on the thumbs up button under the video, and don't forget to share it with your friends.